Hey there, Tiffany Thomas with WealthyTiffany.com, and in today's video, we're going to be talking about 3 money mistakes to avoid, especially during a crisis. With what's going on right now, a lot of people are giving recommendations on what to do with your money, but I wanted to flip that and do the opposite and share what we should not be doing so that we don't make these money mistakes, especially during hard times. So we're going to talk about the 3 worst things you can do with your money right now. If you guys are ready to dive in, hit that like button and we're going to get started. All right, the first mistake that we want to avoid right now is selling all of our investments. Things are really crazy in the stock market. Stocks are continuing to rise and then they will drop and they will rise and then they will drop down. It's a really up and down pattern right now. But the worst thing that we can do is sell off those investments because, as I have said in multiple videos, the stock market will continue to rise over time. So as we've seen right now, it's taken a dip and it's come back up a little bit and then it went down again and then up, down. But as we continue to invest for the long term, the stock market, as it goes up and down, continues to rise. So we really want to keep that in mind and not sell off all of our investments. We can become really fearful and take our money out of the stock market. But when we do that, the very next day, the stock market could rise and we could have missed out on all of those gains. Fear and greed is what drives the stock market. And if we are being fearful and selling when it's already at the bottom, we are going to miss out on an increase in our investments. So if we would have just held on to those investments, we would have seen them come back up to where they were and then surpass that over time. There is a chance you could get lucky and you maybe sold your investments right before it took the huge dip, but we just never know. That's really risky. And that's why I like to talk about a long-term investment strategy. You can continue to invest over time. So you can set aside a certain amount from your paycheck and invest that every 2 weeks, and sometimes you will hit when the stocks are really low, when they are on sale, and sometimes you'll hit when they are high, but it averages out over time. It's called dollar cost averaging. So it's a really good way to invest your money. Instead of trying to time the market, we want to think about time in the market. And I want to share a study that has been done. Okay, this is a study from personalcapital.com, and they took a look at 3 different girls who invested in the stock market 3 different ways. So let's take a look at what they actually found out. We are going to look at this example. They each invested $100,000. So there is Karen. She invested her $100,000 in 4 different installments, so at 4 separate times. And each time she invested, it was at the top of a bull market, so when the stocks were really high priced. So she's waiting to invest until the market is really good, and then she puts her money in. Then there is Angela, and she is awesome at recognizing the bottom of a bear market when stock prices are really low. So she invested her $100,000 at 4 separate times when the market was super low. And then there is Laurie, and she never really pays much attention to what the market does. She invested her $100,000 in just one lump sum and hasn't done anything with it since. So let's take a look at what actually happened. Now, Laurie got into the market during the fall of 1987, right before the Black Monday crash. So that meant she was investing when stock prices were really high. And just in the first few months, her value was cut by more than 30%. So it left her far behind her 2 friends. As you can see in this first graph on the left, hers is the yellow, so she is way down here. But when you take a look at the long term, when the 3 of them looked at their portfolios over multiple years, it was a total different story. As you can see in the graph on the right, that the yellow, which is Laurie, who didn't really pay attention to when she was investing, she just invested her money, got it in the market, she surpassed her other 2 friends quite a bit. So you can really see the difference when you are trying to time the market versus spending time in the market. You really want to get your money in the market and just keep it in there so that it can grow over time, just like in this example. And this brings us to our second money mistake, which is buying everything that's on sale right now. I don't know about you guys, but I subscribe to a few of my favorite stores, and I have been getting so many emails from them saying that everything is on sale. There's one that has their entire store 50% off plus free shipping. So it's amazing deals right now. But we don't really want to be buying things that aren't essential because we don't know how long this is going to last. And if you do feel like you have enough money in savings, you have enough invested, that you can take advantage of some of these, then go ahead. But if you're thinking, oh, I just really think that shirt's really cute and I want it and it's 50% off, but you don't have your emergency fund fully funded, now is not the time to be buying those items that are on sale, that aren't really essential. Because once you've spent your money, you can't spend it anywhere else. It's gone. And there's essential things that we need to be spending our money on, like rent or your mortgage payment or your gas bill, power bill. And yes, some companies are offering, waiving late fees or a discount or putting off paying your mortgage payment. But we shouldn't just be thinking, oh, well, yeah, I can put off paying my mortgage payment and buy all of these cute clothes right now. We really want to focus on spending our money on things that are really important right now and really essential, and not so much on the frivolous side of things, even though everything is on sale. But without knowing how long this may last, if you spend that money right now, and if times are still hard in a couple months, then you're going to regret that purchase. So really focus on what's important right now and how you can make your money last for a longer amount of time so that you aren't worried in the future. And this brings us to our third money mistake to avoid right now, which is not staying on top of your money situation, not knowing what's coming in and what's going out. You really want to sit down and go over your budget, or if you haven't even created a budget, then create a budget or a spending plan. That's what I like to call it. But you really need to know how much money you have coming in and how much money is going out. So take a look at all of those expenses, and don't forget about the expenses that you might just have once or twice a year, because those might come up and you'll be charged for that, and you may have forgotten that expense was coming through. So you really want to be on top of your money situation. And by knowing what's actually happening with your money, then you can take advantage of some of these creditors that are offering to waive late fees right now or to delay a payment. You can contact them beforehand, before you get charged the late fee, or before you need to make your payment, so that you can make arrangements if you need to. There could be payments like your insurance, maybe you only pay that every 6 months, or there are certain subscriptions that you just pay once a year, maybe you have a Costco membership, but make sure you have a good handle on your money situation. We don't know how long this type of situation is going to last, or even when another situation like this is going to happen in the future. So we really want to be prepared right now and start making a plan in case this does last for another month or 2 or 3 or 6 or a year, however long. We want to take that long-term focus and really start planning ahead right now to prepare ourselves for whatever may happen in the future. And if we can work with our creditors right now, setting up some sort of payment plan or delaying payments, then that's going to help us sleep easier at night, rather than just waiting for your late fee to show up, or not being able to make your payment and then after the fact calling them and saying, hey, sorry, I couldn't make this payment, but you already knew you wouldn't be able to. So let's plan ahead, plan for the worst, but expect the best. It would be great if this was over really soon and we could actually start to plan a little bit better and have a little more stability with our finances, but we just never know. So remember to rest easy and know that the stock market will continue to rise over time, and don't sell off all of your investments, and don't be buying everything that's on sale right now that isn't essential unless you're sure you can really afford to do that. And really stay on top of your money situation, know exactly what's coming in and what's going out, and where you're going to need some assistance. And tell me in the comments one money mistake that you may have made so that we can learn from each other and we don't have to make all of these mistakes ourselves, and we can each be a little better off. So if you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and share it with someone else who would like to hear this information. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to subscribe to my YouTube channel. That will really help me out and we can get this content out to more people. And don't forget to hit the little bell to get notified on when I post new videos. And if you are interested in getting 2 free stocks right now, Webull is doing a promotion. If you open a free brokerage account, you'll get 1 stock. And if you deposit $100, which if you have the money to deposit, then you can get a second free stock valued up to $1,400. And then you can do whatever you need to with that $100 and your 2 free stocks. So if you are interested in that, I will leave my referral link below. You can click on that to get your 2 free stocks. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video.